Hello, I'm Luka Bloom. I'm here with Damien, Cuppa Tea TV.
Hi, my name is Julianne Henley. I'm on Cuppa Tea TV. I'm a singer, songwriter and artist based in Limerick.
How are you doing? I'm David Hope, musician, songwriter, hospital musician lately, former bricklayer, builder's assistant, thespian, and all around shy talker.
How you doing? My name is Louise O'Flanagan and I'm here with Cuppa Tea TV and yeah, this is where it's at.
Hello, my name is Mick Flannery for Cuppa Tea TV.
Hello, my name is Emma Langford and I am a singer-songwriter.
Laura Mulcahy, Cuppa Tea TV.
Hello, I am Niall Breslin. Most people refer to me as Bressie.
Hi, I'm Norma Manley from Ballina, County Tipperary. I'm a singer-songwriter and I'm here with Damien from Cuppa Tea TV.
Hello, my name is Paul O'Donoghue from Heroes Guitar School. I'm here with Cuppa Tea TV.
My name's Katie Thiesby and I'm here with Cuppa Tea TV.
Oh yeah, Adam Maloney here with Cuppa Tea TV.
How's it going, everyone? This is Stan here, recording for Cuppa Tea TV from New York City.
It's a really big question, Damien. I think ever since I was a kid, songs and music have been a place of refuge for me. My new album is called Refuge, and that's partly because of the power of songs and music to give me this great sense of connection. Initially listening to other people's songs, listening to the ballads, listening to my mother's song, my mother singing the ballads, my family, singing with my family, singing in school. It's always been a place of refuge. It's always been a really special experience. And then when I held my first guitar, I still remember the moment I held my first guitar. I was about 9 and it was a very profound experience of belonging. And ever since then, you know, discovering other singers, discovering other music, and sometimes if I'm sad or I hear something on the news that's really devastating, if I pick up a guitar, almost instantly I'll be able to express something with the instrument, with or without the voice.
So personally, I remember for a while I'd lost touch with music. I was just too busy. I had no time to listen. I had no time to hear the words, the melodies, nothing. Until I hit rock bottom, and then all the music came, and that's what helped me, pulled me through. It was like these artists, John Lennon and Elvis and the Eagles, they were singing their songs for me. So it was like someone who understood me. And then within my family, it was my sister wrote me a song to try and understand where she was coming from. And that inspired me to write my own music. And that's how I communicate now, is to write my own songs and writing with other people in the community who are going through struggles. And then together we make something positive from maybe a negative experience. And something that's your own. And once you record it and put it out into the cosmos, it's there forever and ever, and you're leaving your print on the universe. So.
When I laughed and I cried, there was my heart and soul unsure, but I found my faith and I told everyone so. Embraced by my brothers, by my side, I said, come on boys, come on, let's ride, follow me.
I guess the biggest impact music has made on my mental health personally was learning to write songs, and that process of actually writing something down. I always think about it. There was a specific incident or a moment I can remember when I was in college in London, and I was going through some stuff, nothing major, but it was stuff, you know. We always, I think as Irish people as well, we have this thing about, you know, somebody else's baggage is always more important, but you know, your own stuff is your own stuff. And I was going through this thing and thinking about things and overthinking about things, and kind of, you know, I understand it now that it's kind of like, you know, your mental health suffering, you know, you kind of feel this knot in your stomach and you're worrying about things, and you know, it can be anything. It can be money, it can be relationships, it can be, you know what I mean, everything. And I just remember this specific night that I was there kind of staring at the ceiling. It was 5:30 in the morning and I was just going on in circles, the same thing. And I just took out this notepad I had and I just started writing. And it was nothing. I'd been writing songs for a few years at this stage, but just started writing, and I wrote 2 pages of kind of a copybook size thing, and I read it back, and it was just a bit of poetry, a bit of kind of, you know, random thoughts on a page, nothing special, nothing overly profound, but I read it back, I closed the copybook, and I was asleep like that. But that was something that really just kind of like highlighter pen, this is good for you, in my brain.
I suppose a way to say it is my mental health is fairly intact through nourishing myself, through listening to music, dancing in a music vibe, playing an instrument, maybe a tune written by somebody else, or just creating, being free in myself and creating music. So on a preventative measure, I suppose I'd say music has a huge part to play in my experience being content or happy. And then on a reactive level, where does music come in? I suppose if I'm feeling blue or low or frustrated or lonely or angry or even overly happy, if I'm out of balance, then I find music brings me very quickly into my heart, and when I'm in my heart, balance is very easy.
I know that I use music to feel better about myself, so it has to have some impact. If I'm feeling certain ways, I'll put on music that makes me feel as though I'm being empathized or sympathized with, like Tom Waits or Bob Dylan, or someone telling a story that I can relate to, or something. I suppose it makes you feel less lonely if that's what you're feeling at the time. For me, like personally, because I write music, it's very useful to me. I enjoy writing music, so if I'm working on a tune, I have a little friend in my head as I go around that I'm trying to chip away at and manipulate into something, you know. once I finish manipulating the thing in my head, what you kind of have is a form of expression, I suppose. And then you just can easily link that to mental health benefits, you know, as in you're expressing something that you needed to express or wanted to express. And that seems to be generally good for your mental health, to just talk about your mental health. Or, you know, everything is your mental health, really. Everything you experience is in your head. So, you know, on a scale of good and bad, it's all in your head.
The question that Damien asked me to answer was what impact music has on my mental health. And I suppose it's a really easy question to answer because music is so beneficial for everyone's mental health, whether you're making music or playing it or composing it or listening to it. For me personally, music has been hugely helpful for pulling me out of horrible moods during the day if I'm listening to the right music. Like if I just connect with a song, that helps me understand how I'm feeling. That's huge.
I have no GPS, no plans for this life, no sense of direction and no sense of time. What good is navigation when every day is a revelation? This head might be crazy, but at least it's mine. That's all you want, that's all you need is this. All you want is this. All you need. And now's the time to redefine the things you thought you knew.
The word that comes to my mind when I think about my own personal experience with music and my own well-being, the word is lucky. Lucky because I play myself and I perform, and doubly lucky because I write. And I wasn't expecting that when I first began to play music. I wasn't expecting the payoff of writing. That it's like a little valve sometimes, and it lets out the things that are going on around you, going on inside you too.
I suppose, speaking from a personal experience, music and singing particularly has got me through probably the most darkest parts of my life so far. It's kind of been there through the good times and the bad times. Playing music, definitely, and also having music around and listening to certain songs. I found certain songs and certain tracks very helpful after my father died. I found it quite hard to cry, to be pushing it all to the side because I had a daughter to rear and I had a job to do, and it's just I didn't want to go there because I was afraid I wouldn't be able to stop. And so I talked to a counsellor, and they said, you know, one day it'll hit you like a train if you don't kind of find some way of letting those feelings out. So she said, if you've got photographs, if that does it for you, or if you got music that you listen to, if that does it for you. So I found a track that really just did the job. It's Slower by Paddy Keenan, and I remember just sitting in the car one day and just feeling I needed to cry. So I just put that track on, and like by the time the pipes kicked in, I was just broke the heart, you know. And it helped to sit. It helped to sit with that feeling for a while. So I think we were so busy pushing these things out of the way and trying to get on with life and trying to look together and look normal to everyone else. And yeah, just that kind of thing really helped me through a lot of times, you know. It's important to recognise those feelings when they come and to deal with them, because they're there for a reason, you know.
What music has done for my mental health, I think using an example is probably a better way of, because it's too hard to describe otherwise because it means too much. But a kind of example of how music has helped me massively is when I was probably at my most, I suppose, struggling with my anxiety levels and anxiety issues, I found it really difficult to sleep. And the less I could sleep, the more anxious I got, and the more stuff you had to take to try and make yourself sleep. And it was this like vicious circle of it. And I started listening to an album that I loved a lot when I was younger, but it's an album by Tom Waits, and it's Closing Time. And if you listen to Closing Time, you can hear him pressing the piano, you can hear him pressing the pedals, you can hear the band play, you can feel it. And it's a very, very, very powerful record in that regard. And what I used to do is I used to play it on my phone, and I would put it beside my pillow, and I would imagine, if you listen to the album, it sounds like Tom Waits is sitting in some New York bar playing this with a band on like a Tuesday night or something. And I always pictured myself sitting at the bar with my back to the band, having like a beer or something, and listening to this album. And I would listen to it as if that's where I was. And by the time it got to Grapefruit Moon towards the end of the record, I'd usually be asleep. And it became my crutch to make me sleep, as I would listen to that record every night, to the point now I still love that record, even though I've probably heard it tens of thousands of times. So that is a good example of what music used to do to me. It used to take me away from the position I was probably in, which wasn't a good one, and bring me somewhere else. And that record did it for me. And I think everyone has one of those records that do that for them. But for me, it's Closing Time, Tom Waits.
Yeah, music has a really powerful impact on my mental health. It elevates my mood. It excites me. It motivates me. It challenges me. It comforts me. I think it has all positive impacts. And then I suppose in terms of creating music, I feel that it gives me a great sense of clarity. It frees my mind of thoughts that, more than likely would just linger there. And I think these thoughts kind of enable me to use them in a creative and expressive way. Yeah, I think when I hear like my music come to life, it gives me that great self-belief, self-confidence and enormous pride.
Music's probably the only magic I've ever experienced in my entire life. True magic. No sleight of hand. It brings joy. It brings wonder. It brings awe. It's great for my mental health. I'd be lost without music. I'm sure if I didn't have music in my life, I probably would have mental health issues. But I don't. Once I have this and I have my love for the music, yeah, I think I'll be alright.
The most immediate of the art forms, perhaps. Perhaps outside of the cry of a baby's cry, music is the most immediate of the art forms. It's the one that's going to touch you first. So it'll touch your mind and your soul. That's it, really, and it's very good for you. It's very good for you. No, the world has music anyway. The world plays lots of music. The music of the birds, the music of electricity wires, the music of general living. City living has music and rhythm to it. Yeah, so you're connected to music whether you think you are or not, or whether you think you're a music lover or not. And it's good for you whether you're making music or not. Anyway, I think it's very good. It gives people a human connection.
I think music does play a big impact in my mental health, really. So like every day I listen to music in my headphones, and like if I'm feeling down or sad about something, I throw on my headphones and listen to a bit of music. And I used to have a big fear of planes, and I used to be on a plane a lot going over to England for The Voice and stuff, so I'd be freaking out on the plane and my dad would be telling me, oh, it's alright, and I started bringing headphones then and just closed my eyes and just helped me through it, like. So, and when I was feeling homesick as well, I used to play a bit of music as well, so yeah, it's good.
I've been thinking about this world, and I've been thinking, yeah, about what's going on, and I've been singing the same old songs, and I know that someday I'll be getting things wrong, but the rain will fall and the sun won't shine, but in the end everything's gonna be alright, alright now.
Music changes your physical state. It can take you back to a time, it can bring you memories back from years ago. It can cause you to have goosebumps all over your arms, gives you a warm fuzzy feeling. It causes the hairs to stand up at the back of your neck. And as a byproduct of this, it also changes your mental state. Music is healing. There's so many healing frequencies in music that we don't even realize that are there. It's like therapy. But for me in particular, live music is so powerful because it brings you back to the present. It draws you to the here and the now. And I think that when you're in the here and the now, everything is just a little bit better.
Hey, don't you wanna try, don't you wanna try a bit of this new day on for size? Hey, I'm pretty sure I don't know where I'm going, but the last one to the tree is a rotten egg.
And then outside of that, writing songs that help me process how I'm feeling so far has been really, really beneficial and really helpful. So writing Tug of War last year, in spring last year, allowed me to sort of deal with my kind of anxiety and self-doubt, and it also helped other people to understand how I was feeling, and it gave other people a voice, which in turn made me feel a lot better as well. So that was great, and I suppose that's it really. I hope that the music I make, the music that everyone's making, is helping people in some way.
A few years ago, when my own brother, Stephen, who had been suffering with his own demons and mental health problems for quite a number of years, when he took his own life, and this was totally devastating for, obviously for everyone in my family. But I live very far away from everybody, and I found, because I was able to play, you know, I found that a great source of comfort. They do know that mental health issues are quite often hereditary, and of course I ask myself the question, am I next? And I was worried about that actually for quite a long time, but having music in my life in such a direct way with playing and obviously with writing was a source of great comfort through that period. And I eventually wrote a song about him and about my feelings towards that, which again, I use the word release, relief, or valve, and yeah, and again, I would also use the word lucky.
In this subject, music is medicine to me, and I hope it is for others too. It obviously is. A lot of people love it. I don't understand how that is. It's a mystery to me. But ever since I was a child, music and songs have had the power to soothe me and calm the troubled waters in my mind.
I'm here to talk about music and mental health. Music makes me very happy. Music makes me very happy. Music makes me very happy.
Done? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I heard a really nice quote the other day, and it was saying that music is the soul to the universe, the wings to the mind, the flight to the imagination, and life and everything. And I think that really resonates. So yeah, I'll leave it with that.
Cuppa Tea TV. You've seen it here first. Okay.
Brilliant.
Right. Right, the weekend taffy pops.
Caress me. Won't you hold
That's my own experience anyway.
Adam. What impact is mental health? That's what I understand the giggles for some reason. I don't know why. That's trying to keep a straight face.
Damien.
Adam, I was like...
She's got me in a bad hair, you know, I don't buy my products.
This is pre-haircut.
I know, yeah. What impact does haircuts have on your mental health?
I probably won't even watch the video, I'd listen to it. I'd be like, oh my God. Sound like a bog woman again, Katie.
That was good. That was good.
I tried to come up with smart things to say.
There's loads there, Nick, honest to God. There is, like, so. That's unreal. Yeah. That's the job, yeah.
And live to everything. Boom. Is that alright?
It's cool, yeah.
Is that okay? Music makes me very happy. Music makes me very happy. Music makes me very happy. Happy, 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 happy.
That's it. Play. I won't play. I'll stop. I'll just do my introduction, and then you'll bang it.
That was perfect what we just did there.
I don't care. Did it in one take. God, professional. Oh my God.
I love it.